Well, you know, on the front of our devices, we have a FaceTime camera. It's most often used for FaceTime video calls that our customers love making. And on the back, we have a camera. And when that camera gets of such quality and capability that you're proud to use it as your everyday camera for photographs, we call it an eyesight camera. And the new iPad has a great eyesight camera. It's a 5-megapixel backside illuminated sensor. We brought the optic system from the iPhone 4S, 5-element lens, hybrid infrared filter on it. And we have an ISP built into our A5X chip to do some great software algorithms and capabilities on this for photographs. But of course, the ultimate measure of a camera are the pictures you take with it. So let me show you some pictures taken with this new iPad. The iPad has auto exposure, so it gets great exposure, great color. It has autofocus. It's incredible at the detail it picks up, and you see that lens can deliver great edge-to-edge sharpness and detail. It has auto face detection, so you can take individual or group shots. It knows just what to do. It has auto exposure lock and autofocus lock, so you can compose exactly the photograph you want. It is just a blast to use. That's Derby, world's largest dog. So it has a 5-megapixel eyesight camera, advanced optics with an IR filter, autofocus, auto white balance, face detection, everything to deliver a great photo experience built into an iPad. Number 3, HD video recording, now a 1080p resolution. Full HD resolution, so wherever you are, you want to grab a video for work or play or school, you've got a great camera built in to do that with. Let me just play a very quick, typical home movie clip that you might grab with your iPad and its 1080p camera. Now, it's great to have a high-quality HD camera with you everywhere you go, but there's a lot more to it. We use that A5X chip to do some pretty advanced things. For example, image stabilization. So what we've got here is a video I'll show you of what it's like with image stabilization turned off and what it's like with it turned on. And it's always turned on, but I think you'll be able to see the difference here because we capture right from the sensor. So here's the video as if it were unstabilized. And now here's what our software does to stabilize it. It's really nice. I think they did a great job pretending there wasn't a camera in front of them as they walked along the dock, didn't they? So that's 1080p video recording, video stabilization. We do temporal noise reduction to help improve quality in low light situations. And it is perfect to watch these videos back on that gorgeous large retina display. Fourth feature, voice dictation. Of course, the iPad, like all great iOS devices, has a software keyboard from Apple that's built into all the software you use automatically. And now you'll see there's a new key on the bottom, a microphone. So you can type, or you can just tap it, speak into your iPad, and it will dictate what you have to say. It works like this.
It's day 12 here in Barcelona, which means 2 more days left before we have to leave, period. I'm so not ready to go, It's amazing here, period. And if I could somehow magically bring the weather here home with me, I would, period.
And that's it. That's how it translates what you say into the text you want to type. The new iPad supports English in US English, British English, Australian English, French, German, and of course now, Japanese. So that's voice dictation. The fifth feature, next generation wireless. Now you know the iPad 2 has already had great wireless performance, and it supports networks like EVDO with a maximum theoretical downlink of 3.1 megabits per second. And it has supported HSPA, for example, on GSM networks, with a maximum downlink of 7.2 megabits per second. But now with the new iPad, we're adding a great deal more. We're adding HSPA Plus, the maximum downlink of 21 megabits. And if you haven't heard about this, it's great. Dual carrier HSDPA, which we're starting to see show up in Europe, Australia, and other places around the world, with a maximum downlink of 42 megabits per second. And of course, topping it off, long-term evolution, or LTE, which is a maximum of 73 megabits per second downlink. So the performance is amazing, and you're going to love using it on these high-speed new networks. So let me give you a couple everyday examples of how you might use this. Here we have an HSPA network being used by the iPad on the left, and we have LTE being used by the one on the right. These are actually recorded, so I can play them back, and you can see them right here on the big screen. And it's a simple everyday task. I'm going to click on an email that has a bunch of embedded photos and see what happens. So here we go. We select the top new email message that came in. And on the right, you'll see the photo will come in faster on LTE. In fact, the next large photo will come in. And the next one, before even the first photo starts to show up on HSPA. So we're all done. We've got all 5 large photos on LTE, and we're still waiting even for the second one on HSPA. So that's one example of the difference of using it in everyday tasks, simply the things we download, applications, music, emails. Here's a different kind of example. We all like to do great things like watch videos on our iPad, surf the web to sites like Vimeo, and watch HD, high-quality video. But if you don't have the high-speed bandwidth, the best thing to do is just let it buffer for a while and wait, and then hit play. But what if you could start to watch right away, because it could download the video faster than you can watch it in real time? So watch what happens. I'm going to hit play, and this is a great film, the Bird film from Andrew Zuckerman Studios. And on the right, on LTE, it starts playing right away. And you can see with the progress bar on the top, it is loading the video faster than we can watch it in real time. On the device on the left, which is on EVDO, or we could have used GSM as well there, it's buffering the video, waiting to save enough frames before it starts to play. That's what we've been used to. On the right is what we're going to start getting used to. It fundamentally changes how you experience things like video. So that's what it's like to use these high-speed new networks. We're working with a number of carriers to support LTE on the new iPad. And we're working with AT&T, Verizon, Rogers, Bell, and TELUS. They'll be the first to be able to work with LTE on the brand new iPad. But we have other high-speed networks, as I've mentioned, around the world. Now, as you remember, with 3G, when 3G phones first started showing up, they actually have many different bands, so you got different phones for different networks around the world. And over time, they start to come together. Well, the same thing's happening with 4G LTE. In fact, even more so. There are many bands around the world. So for example, in the US, we'll have 2 versions of the new iPad. One for LTE bands to be used on the AT&T network, and another for the LTE bands on the Verizon network, because they're different. But no matter which ones you pick anywhere in the world, below that, they're completely compatible. They're 3G world ready. So whichever one you pick, you can roam anywhere around the world on the fastest HSPA or EVDO networks, and you have what you need. In addition, we've added software to make it a personal hotspot. So if your carrier supports a personal hotspot feature, you can share that high-speed network from your new iPad directly with up to 5 devices. And if you've ever used this, you know our software is state-of-the-art and so easy to use. So the new iPad has 4G LTE. It has fast HSPA Plus and dual carrier HSDPA networking. It's 3G world ready. It has a personal hotspot. When you add all these networks, plus the Wi-Fi networking and the Bluetooth networking, it's no small feat. This new iPad has the most wireless bands of any device that has ever shipped. And it is truly revolutionary. So the new iPad, it has a breakthrough display, a Retina display at 9.7 inches with over 3 million pixels. It has the A5X chip with quad-core graphics. It has a 5-megapixel iSight camera. It has 1080p video recording. It has voice dictation. And it has the most wireless bands ever in a device capped off with 4G LTE. Now you may be thinking, a lot of these technologies consume a fair amount of power. 4 times the number of pixels, quad-core graphics engine, LTE networking. So how did it do on battery life? Well, you may recall the iPad 2, we claim 10 hours of battery life for most of the things you do. And when you're on 3G networking for wireless web, 9 hours. Well, the new iPad delivers the same 10 hours of battery life for all the things you do. And when you're on 4G, 9 hours. So the team has worked incredibly hard to deliver this kind of battery performance so you can use it all day long. Yet, it remains amazingly thin at just 9.4 millimeters and amazingly light at just 1.4 pounds. So the new iPad comes in black and white. And you're probably at this point thinking, I want one, what's it going to cost? I am. So the new iPad, you remember the iPad 2 starts at $499 for 16 gigabytes. Well, I'm really excited to tell you the new iPad will be priced at just $499. It comes in 3 storage capacities, 16, 32, and 64 gigabytes at $499, $599, and $699 for Wi-Fi models. And for Wi-Fi plus 4G, $629, $729, and $829, the same prices as the iPad 2 before it. And the new iPad will be available on March 16th. And just 1 week. And if you want one as badly as I do, you'll be happy to know that the pre-orders start today. So, on March 16th, the new iPad will be available in the US, Canada, UK, France, Germany, Switzerland, Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia. A really big, fast start. But it doesn't stop there. 1 week later, we're adding 25 more countries. So we are going to have the fastest rollout we've ever had for a new device. So back to the software, because ultimately, this is going to be amazing when you turn it on. You're not going to believe how beautiful it looks. And the team has worked really hard to make all the software that comes on that iPad look gorgeous. So when you're surfing the web, Safari's been updated to take full advantage of that Retina display. When you're reading your emails, Mail's been updated to take full advantage of that Retina display. When you're using your photos, the Photo app has been fully updated to take advantage of all that amazing color and resolution. Everything's been updated. But as you remember with the iPhone 4, when it went to the Retina display, developers didn't have to do anything and their apps looked better, and we used scaling for the graphics and automatically sized the text, but they could do even more to make them better. So right out of the box, you'll start using your applications, you'll find they look great. Things are scaled up with the 4 times the number of pixels, and text, because of our text APIs and libraries, looks stunning. So everything will work great. But if the developer takes a little bit of time, just as they did with the iPhone, they can do things with their applications that are just mind-blowing, amazing, incredible, using that Retina display and the A5X chip. So we've asked a few developers just to spend a week and take a look at the new iPad and show us what they can do with it with all that amazing graphics horsepower. So we're going to bring up 3 demos to show you some really amazing stuff. The first is from Namco. Namco is a great developer of a lot of titles on the iPhone and iPad, titles of everything from Pac-Man to Sky Gamblers. And I'm really excited to bring up James Shelton. James is the game design director for Namco. James? Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm joined up here by Rezvan Baraytaru from Revo. And today we're thrilled to show you a first glimpse of our new flight sim game, Sky Gamblers Air Supremacy, running on the new iPad. Great gaming experiences are about immersion, being able to really lose yourself in the game. And the new iPad helps us achieve this in 2 key ways. First, the extra graphics performance lets us increase the level of detail